The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us. As you point out, so he's at least so far threatened two sovereign countries with military action.
Correct.
And
Panama and Greenland, which is an extension of Denmark.
Yeah. Which is also part of the EU.
And
NATO.
Thank you. There you go.
That's like not thinking real well with that, but
and they're fucking Vikings. What are you, stupid? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, they're peaceful now that they found socialism, but that's what it does. Apparently,
once a Viking, always a Viking.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
But I mean, yeah. So like, in turn, you're like just for, and you know, just to remind everybody, it's not as big as it looks like on a map.
No.
That's a Mercator map. Like, it's not
it's like
accurate.
The size of Texas or something. A little bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you go like, so just that, if he were to actually follow up on his threat, so we are in effect attacking one of our allies,
a NATO country. Yeah.
And then you're attacking a country in the EU, so that would effectively not like terrorists from the EU.
No,
the EU would just go, no.
They're done.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a nice day. Good luck with that.
Correct.
With your infrastructure.
So all of Europe is no longer open to trade.
So you've got
except for we'll be all right because the UK is not in the EU anymore. Nigel Farage will broker that trade deal.
You know what? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. How these two get in there.
Ugh.
That he would need to be in the room.
But then, you know, to go back to what you were saying about like the negotiating offer, we already were getting those minerals for cheap.
Right.
And
we had wait for it, trade agreement.
Right, with the EU, which is that's how that fucking shit works.
But he
doesn't understand. He doesn't understand globalism.
He wants exactly. He's like, I see this nice shiny toy. All these people told me that there's a lot of materials there.
Yeah.
Minerals, shit that we need. I'm going to take it. Yeah. Just like he knows we need all the oil and lumber from Canada.
Right.
So I'm going to take it.
Well, and what was it? It's for his base, like, they love that shit because they don't understand that as well.
No, and they're just like, yeah, man, we're just going to take over. So they're not helping us.
Right. And
we give them so much money, they don't give us any. That's my favorite
When
one.
there was a MAGA dude that got stitched on TikTok, and he was talking about how the way tariffs used to work, like back in the 1800s. But like was thinking about it like today, and he was talking about like bakers and shit. And of course, the guy who stitched him comes in and does the, no, this is how terrorists really work. But you're going,
times a change.
But it was also like, you're both missing the point. Like, because if you're using that baker example, would have been in the 1990s, the bakers would have sold off their baking machinery.
Correct.
So that they would just import
which
bread.
Is what happened.
Right.
Which is why we have.
And so now
factories that are collapsing all over the country because
and so now like this is the part that like both sides aren't discussing is that if these tariffs are imposed, we've already talked about it. There's not the infrastructure here in the United States.
Correct.
So
which is what J.D. Vance said it the other day.
Yeah.
This is going to incentivize them to come back to the United States really that's like a 12-year investment to get the infrastructure back up.
And the Trump administration is not talking about either, like tax-free investment from the government or helping those businesses get started again. Like, so now you're expecting these companies.
Oh no, he says what he always says. They will get a much better deal if they come back.
Right. But then they have to rebuild everything that they let go in the 1950s.
Correct.
So I can't imagine, I can't imagine Ford Motor Company going, we're going to build 10 new factories.
That's what I'm saying.
On our dime.
Correct. Because
even if they did that, guess what? Car prices are still going to go up.
Because they need to make the difference. They need to cover those costs.
Yeah.
In order to cover costs, you got to raise your prices here.
Now, if he used the federal government to build new factories and then let the companies come in and take them over.
Kind of like he did with Elon Musk and his tax-free incentives and government contracts.
Yeah. But that would mean he's using the government for good.
Yeah, but not like Elon in charge of oversight of spending while he is getting gobs and gobs and gobs of money.
You heard the latest, I don't know if it's legit or not, but a rumor in that Elon has been directed to only speak to his chief of staff, to Trump's chief of staff.
No, and I saw
and he's been moved into the Eisenhower building.
Yeah, exactly. He got moved across the street.
Yeah. So.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, it wasn't a good sign when Ramaswamy
what happened to him? Did they have him shot?
I don't know if he left or he got fired from that position, but he's not in. So it's just Elon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And you haven't even seen Vivek anywhere.
Yeah.
I haven't seen or read anything other than he's gone.
Yeah, he's probably, if he's smart, he's just sitting. Yeah, he's just sitting somewhere.
As he should.
Generating money for himself.
Yeah, that's
get the fuck out. Yeah, you don't want that hassle.
Why don't these guys just do that, man? Just go sit somewhere on a beach. Buy a fucking island because you've got unlimited money coming in. Who gives a fuck?
That's what they used to do. They don't do
right.
Yeah. Now it's another notch in the belt, which is what Elon thought he was getting, and now he's being slowly divorced from Trump.
Trump doesn't need his money anymore. He doesn't need to get reelected. He doesn't need any of that anymore.
Right.
And he knows that he can cut off all those government contracts that Elon needs. Trump can just be like, nah, we're good.
Yeah. Well, the Nazi salute probably didn't help.
No.
I'm sorry.
Or
the Roman salute.
No, he was giving his heart out to the people.
But isn't it palm up if you're giving?
Even better. Someone put videos together of Elon, I don't know, within the past 10 years at a speech doing this, just like this, instead of I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Slap my chest as hard as I can and out
palm
there.
Down, out.
Everything. Twice, back to back. Then I saw he was on a video call with the far-right Nazi
in
group
Germany,
in Germany.
Yeah. Saying that they have to fight to take Germany back. Oh my God.
So he's hedging his bets. If I can't do it here, I'll just go to Germany.
Yeah.
They know about Nazis over there. Fuck.
But then now you have half of Germany was it?
Oh, dude, the Nazi
Is it Germany or is it Serbia where every university is closed now because all the students are no.
It's probably Serbia because in Germany it is all about somebody put
But they're protesting in Germany too.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody sent a light image on the Tesla factory.
Heil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and somebody also explained too. I think they were talking about there's a German law that describes a Nazi salute.
Yes.
In detail, and was
it's against the law there.
Right.
It is a law, federal fucking law that you can't do that
for a reason. But that
fuck your that free speech, no.
that bullshit too of it's a Roman salute. Okay, nobody. Well, first off, I've never heard that before. I know that was the Nazi and the
thinks about the Roman
fascist
Empire
justification
once a day.
Right, but again, and that's what Mussolini said. But you're going it was co-opted by these two horrible groups.
Correct.
And thus is same with the swastika. It doesn't mean peace in Buddhism anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
There's a reason you don't see it.
And we all know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the name Trump in 50, 75, 100 years will be hate to say it, but it'll be like Hitler.
Well, and I mean, you even take something smaller, and I mean, went away quicker. Like when people decided to stop using the R word to describe other people.
Yep.
I mean, that happened quick. And then, like, there's still times, like, I mean, I used to giggle when I was, in piano lessons, and it's that's an actual word in what am I trying to say in music theory
yeah.
is to slow down.
So you have to retard the
correct, yeah,
the tempo,
right? But you can't even do that anymore because it's we collectively decided we don't do that
unless you're on Twitter,
yeah,
or X. Every fourth post has that word.
Oh yeah. Or, or you got that friend that is just doing something really stupid and you got to get your point across.
Yeah. I mean, that.
But you never say it to somebody with a disability. Never.
No. And usually it only comes around during Mardi Gras. So,
3 weeks.
So looking forward to it.
Anyway.
I'll save that for later. I guess the rest of the world is starting to hate on Elon.
Yeah.
I don't know if Germany came out and said anything about him being on that video call. I mean, what can you say, really? Other than, hey, you're the richest man in the planet. We don't need you meddling in our elections.
Yeah. Or I think, if they were smart, they would wait till he came over and then does his giving his heart out to people again, and then they can arrest him for violating German law.
France is looking into arrest. I say this like every week for a month now.
Yeah.
They're looking into election interference or something.
Yeah.
I think everybody should just seize his fucking assets.
Well, I mean that's whatever that satellite communication system is like.
Yes.
Like TriStar.
Yeah.
So if somebody got to look at like those books, it would be like, oh, good God, like he's committing so much privacy violation on everyone.
Yeah, of course.
It's still
the fucked up thing is it's not him because he's not smart enough.
Right.
He's got people under him doing that. While I'm pretty sure 97% of his company loathes the man.
Oh, all of his companies most likely. Yeah.
Except like the top 12 who are cooking the books.
Right.
Are the guys negotiating these contracts.
That are his friends that he got into those positions.
The douche bros.
Right, yeah.
The apartheid sympathizers.
Right. Or the old cliche like, a basketball star is surrounded by all of his friends and then he ends up broke and like how'd that happen? Like cuz your buddy's driving a Bugatti over
right
there.
Here. Right. And his mom's driving one too. No relation.
You didn't figure that one
at all here. And how old is he? Oh, he's 24. Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's.
But then, I mean, you see what Elon's been able to do, and then all of a sudden you have like dumbasses like Zuckerberg going like, okay, we're just not going to have any protection.
So now you've
in the
got
Facebook
the old,
world.
like at the inauguration, you had the oligarchs.
Yeah.
What was it? It was Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. The only one who wasn't there was one of the Waltons for Walton.
Correct. Which, good on the Walton family.
Yeah, seriously.
You would expect Stan Kroenke to be
right.
there.
No, it was the guy, Google.
Yeah. The CEO of Google was there.
That's who it was. So that was the
Bezos, Indian dude. Yeah.
Right. That was the one guy I was like, who the fuck are you? And he
then,
went, I've got a lot of money.
Yeah. But I mean, these are people who don't give a shit enough to where like Bezos's new wife just wearing a bra.
Yep.
That's it. Like,
correct.
I mean, with a jacket over it,
so
but everybody could
tell.
The
guy who owns Google, where everybody goes to get their information from.
Yeah.
That's why Elon wanted to buy Wikipedia too.
Yes.
You control the information, man.
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast, is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.